Texans' chances to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not zero, but it is going to be extremely tough. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. You won't find anybody with more passion speaking about your favorite Houston sports teams than this guy right here. Astros, Rockets, Texans. I try to do it all. So go down in the comment section. Let me know, what is the percentage y'all are giving the Texans to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Why am I talking about the chances and the percentages and the odds of the Texans, who are opening up as underdogs on the road in Arrowhead to take on the two-time defending Kansas City Chiefs? Because we are going to be reacting to a thread that John Crumpler, friend of the channel, the doctor, had a thread about, what are the Texans basically, what is there, how am I going to phrase this? It's basically keys to victory, you can say, to put it quite simple. And John has a full-on thread about what the Texans can be doing to the Kansas City Chiefs from what other teams did that A, almost beat them, and B, did beat them from this year. So we're going to be taking a look into that right now. Already got the screen sharing. We're going to go to Twitter real quick because that's where the thread is on. Make sure, if y'all are not already, go ahead and check out John Crumpler's Twitter profile, man. Really good content, really good stuff. Read his articles. I enjoy a lot of what he does. So make sure y'all tap in, man. Very good content here. He is a non-biased person, so don't get mad if he says something that upsets you. He's not a bias. He's not that, like, he's a Texans fan, but he's not a Texans fan like me and you are, okay? Like, we're always going to pick the Texans to win. John will try to find out why he thinks the Texans can win. If he can't figure it out, he won't pick out the other team. But this is a great thread regardless. He's talking about the Chiefs here, only losing one meaningful game in 24. 5 other games decided by 3 points or less in their way to 15-2 record. Again, potential keys to victory. Here we go. Let's get it going. First one, Buffalo won 30-21. Cincy, Denver, Carolina, Las Vegas, and the Chargers nearly stole victories themselves. Here are 7 takeaways from those games, and those are the following weeks they did. So the Houston defense is getting shut down. The Chiefs. Key number 1, oh, there we go, 3+ sacks. 4 of the 6 teams were able to accomplish this goal against Patrick Mahomes. Look, we all know this, man. We got to get sacks. We got to pressure Mahomes. This is key to any team, but specifically when you're facing a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, who are not going to make a lot of mistakes, who are going to, try to play clean, sound football and be as perfectionist as possible, the Houston Texans have to make sure Mahomes is off task and he is just not just standing there and killing you with his arm. Like, you have to get to Mahomes. And to me, the best way of doing it is what you did in the Chargers game, making sure the front 4 gets home. Yes, you can blitz sparingly. You did not see the Texans blitz a lot against Justin Herbert, and that was evident because the front 4 continuously got home. You need a damn good game, not only from Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson, but Mario Edwards and Danico Autry had themselves games against the Chargers. That's who you really need to get that push against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Key number 2, more than 33% quarterback pressure. 3 of the 6 teams accomplished this goal, notably Buffalo, who only sacked Mahomes twice. Even if they're unable to close on pressures, consistently heating up Mahomes and accelerating the pass game is vital against the best quarterback in football. That is just something I just said previous to his other tweet, talking about sacks, pressure. To me, pressure, as long as you can get pressure, I don't care about sacks. As long as you get pressure on Mahomes, as long as he's throwing the ball away, you're making him uncomfortable. He's, falling down when he's throwing passes. He's not, getting his legs under him, setting his feet, and really just looking down the field. No, you got him moving left or right around the pocket, and he feels the pressure. Then all of a sudden, he's going to continue to feel it even when there's no pressure there. Texans got to dial it up. but still be smart about it. Don't just go crazy, engage 8 and start going nuts with the blitzing and everything. The front four has to get home. Next point, John Crumpler states here, stuffing the run more than 15%. All right. 3 of the 6 teams were able to accomplish this goal. Houston's ability to turn often positive run plays for Kansas City into 0 or negative will place the passing game in poor positioning and enable their pass rush to be more diverse with the blitz. Look, this is, again, sacks, pressure. We did this in the Chargers game. You also have to stuff the run game. The Chiefs are going to be having Pacheco, so that's a guy that definitely is going to be featured a lot in not just the run game, but an extension of the run game with bubble screens, little swing pass screens, any sort of screens you could think of, halfback options to Pacheco. Like, these are what's going to be happening. He's a very solid, vital weapon for that Chiefs offense. They use him in every which way possible. You have to make sure you are stuffing the run. You cannot let Patrick Mahomes have a play action game. If he has a play action game, it's going to be a long day for you and the Houston Texans linebackers specifically. Number 4, win the TOP battle, the time of possession, man. 4 of the 6 teams were able to accomplish this goal. Simple in concept, difficult in execution. We all know this. The Kansas City Chiefs, man, you have to make sure they do not stay on the field. This is what the Texans did way back when in 2019. They won that time of possession battle, but unfortunately, that only lasted for about a quarter and a half up until halftime. The Texans, ultimately, this is a different team. We all know there's different chess pieces now that are a lot better than that team as well. You got to make sure you are winning the TOP battle. That's why the defense and the run game specifically in Joe Mixon has to have a big game for you in order to keep Mahomes and Andy Reid off of the field as much as possible. You do not want them continuously adjusting and game planning for your defense. Keep them off the field. Next thing, number 5, force 2+ turnovers. Look, this defense has been very good at forcing turnovers. He says only 2 of 6 teams accomplished this goal, though. Just Buffalo and Cincy. Not a realistic goal, but if you can force multiple uncharacteristic turnovers for the Chiefs, it's the easiest way to stay in the football game. Look, we did it against the Chargers with Justin Herbert. He only gave up 3 interceptions all year. And when you look at Patrick Mahomes in the divisional game, he has given up 0 interceptions in the divisional round of the playoffs. The Houston Texans love hearing that, right? They love it when you say the quarterbacks cannot – they're just immune to throwing interceptions, because for some reason this defense, it just feels like at some point in the second half of the year, this defense just turned it up a notch when it comes to the turnover ratio, because they have been magnificent. Kalen Bullock needs to have a really good game for you. I think he could be an X factor that maybe the Chiefs are not quite looking at. We all know that Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter really got highlighted in that game. Kalen Bullock had a big negative play that led to an 86-yard touchdown from Ladd McConkey. Hopefully he leads that into a damn good game this Saturday against the Chiefs. I need that Kalen Bullock playing like a veteran kind of game again. That's what you really need. Stingley's going to do his thing. Kamari Lassiter has to have another repeat performance. Next up, key number 6, less than 40 yards from DeAndre Hopkins. 3 of 5 teams accomplished this goal. He wasn't there, obviously, for week 2. They traded for him halfway through the year. Xavier Worthy may be more explosive, but limiting the consistent chain-moving impact that Hopkins has on the game makes the Chiefs' offense far less consistent. We all know what Hopkins is. At this point in his career, he is a first down getter. That's what he is. Yes, can he still have big plays? Absolutely. But what Hopkins does best right now is moving the chains. Oh, 3rd and 6, Hopkins gets you 7. Oh, 3rd and 3, Hopkins could get you 5. Like, that's exactly what he does. Hitch routes, slant routes, in routes, out routes. That is what Hopkins does. He's anything short to intermediate now. Nothing much big play from him. I feel very confident, though, with Derek Stingley being tasked on him. Hopkins didn't have too much in the first game against us, but he did have some key first downs that kept the chains moving. That's something you don't want to see this time. You got to make sure Stingley is shadowing him for the entirety of the game. If Lasser has to be on him, I like my opportunities there as well. The one that had a really good game, Miles Bryant in the slot. Don't know if that's going to happen again, but man, he had himself a really far good game. The Texans have to make sure they are limiting the chain mover in DeAndre Hopkins. Number 7, you got less than 70 receiving yards for Travis Kelce. This was all done in 6 of the games against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, man, we already know Mahomes and Kelce, they have that innate connection. You cannot let this guy get going. He's been pretty much quiet for a lot of the year, at least it feels like. Statistically, I know that doesn't sound correct, but it does feel like that. Travis Kelce, though, dominant tight end. He talked about he's feeling 22 again, little pun to Taylor Swift, but he feels energized. You cannot let these two get going. You get them two going, it's going to be a long day for you because that connection is real. It's legit. There ain't nothing magic about it. It's just a legit, damn good football connection that they will continuously go time and time again. All right. How did these teams all fare collectively? Buffalo accomplished 6 of those 7 tasks. Everyone outside of the Panthers managed at least 50% of these, excuse me. So that's about 3 or 4 of the tasks. And they only lost within a field goal. Houston's most realistic path towards their 50%, my best guesses are probably number 1, 3+ sacks. I agree. Defense has been playing its ass off. Number 2, more than 33% pressure on Mahomes. Again, defense has been playing its ass off. And number 3, Hopkins less than 40 receiving yards. Look, all of those, I mean, that plays well to the Houston Texans defense. And it's no shock that all 3 points is catered to the defense. Until the offense can show me that they can consistently do this week in and week out, I will still have my doubts offensively. I love what they did in the Chargers game, and it feels like that maybe we have awakened the offense, especially with the configuration of the offensive line currently. But this Texans team, they have to do it again. That's just what it is. I don't have no history on them, but they have to do it again. That's why, to me, I agree with John. The best 3 points are obviously all the points pointing towards the Texans defense. Run stuff is number 4. Again, the Texans defense, we already know we did not have Azeez Al-Shaair last time against the Kansas City Chiefs. Foley Fatukasi as well. Both guys are going to play huge in that Chiefs game. Might not be making a bunch of plays, but just their presence on the field is going to change a lot of things. John's final point here, guys. Harder for me to envision the Texans winning the time and possession battle or forcing 2+ turnovers. This would require the best game of the season from the O-line as a running unit or one of the worst playoff games ever from Patrick Mahomes. Not impossible, but not counting on it either. Look, this is a damn good thread from John Crumpler. I appreciate the thread. We all appreciate the thread. Make sure y'all go and retweet that thing, man. I'll definitely get my retweets and likes in, but he's right. Look, again, we saw the stats from the previous video. If anybody saw me reacting to Nick Wright saying we have 0 chance against the Chiefs, he threw the stat line out there, man. Mahomes in the divisional round, 0 interceptions. And I like saying it more and more and more because it just feels like this defense knows how to create turnovers. It just feels like this defense, they love to hear, oh, a quarterback's immune to turnovers. Wait till they play us. Look, is it impossible? No. But it is going to be extremely tough. Andy Reid, we got to respect. Patrick Mahomes, you got to respect. And the Chiefs deserve their respect. They are the kings of the AFC. But sooner or later, someone's got to take down the king. And why not the Houston Texans? Why not us is the mentality I'm having right now. Why not the Houston Texans to go into Arrowhead, do their thing, knock on the door, and not even care if someone answers it? You knock the damn door down. You get yourself into Arrowhead, and you try shooting up a storm, man. You go in there and you go ballistic, swarming, defense doing their thing. You leave it all on the field. You have a damn good chance of the Houston Texans winning this game. It's not 0% chance like Nick Wright says. The Houston Texans, defensively, fantastic. I know what they can do. the offense shows up like they did against the majority of that game in the Chargers, you have yourself a damn good opportunity of upsetting the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, and CJ Stroud could be going, along with the Houston Texans franchise, to their first possible ever AFC championship appearance. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.